Uncle Johnny, everybody.
Hey, everybody, thank you. I was told I got a moment to introduce myself before they start the timer, so hi, I'm Johnny. I'm really pissed off because the nurse took my story. My finger is still actually up in that wound somewhere. And then I was going to tell my light bulb story, but now that's been told. So I'm going to wing it, right? I came up with this story a couple of minutes ago. I'm going to tell a story, and you can start the timer. True story about the time I was finally going to see David Bowie, and I was going to get to go to Hershey Park for the first time ever. I was in 10th grade. I just bought my first street motorcycle. I was really excited. I just got my best job ever working at, Hershey Mills, the retirement community where the guy that invented the birth control pill used to live. I'm sure he's dead by now. And I was making $9 an hour. I was even thinking about quitting high school. I was making so much money, I had a career, right? So I'll never forget that day. It was my first week on the job, and I'm already thinking about quitting high school. So I started out, this is my first week, and so now they're turning me loose on the lawnmower. I had my cut-off shorts because I didn't have a uniform yet. And it's about 8 a.m. and I really had to pee so friggin' bad. But hey, I'm a company man, so I'm not gonna pee on company time, so I'm gonna get this grass cut. And I get the grass cut, and the whole time I'm cutting the grass, I'm thinking, hey, we got David Bowie tickets tonight with my girlfriend Scarlet Star. My last name is Walker, so they called her Scarlet Star Walker. And this is gonna be the best time ever if we had some weed. And we don't have any weed. And it was going through a crazy dry spell. So the whole time I'm thinking, how the hell can we get weed for David Bowie at Hershey Park? So somebody tells me my friend Walter Ball, true story. It's funny because when he used to play football, we used to say, "Go Neds, go Neds!" But anyway, so Walter Ball, who actually took Scarlett to the prom because I was suspended during then, but that's a whole nother story, as friends. So anyway, just to make that clear, because that was my girl. Anyway, so so I had tickets, and it turns out that Walter Ball knew somebody that had weed in Westchester, actually right down the street by the beer distributor, because that used to be a hot drug spot. Now it's like, hoity-toity, but so I remember I went there, I went and got the weed, and Scarlett had just bought me this weed pipe that had like this big giant, and I don't smoke anymore, I'm so anti-drug everything, right? But she bought me this thing, it had like this huge chamber with this little pipe on top, and then like 2 chambers attached, and then this big piece, and so it would just stick out of your pocket like that. And so I had that, but I didn't have anything to put it in. So I drove to Westchester, I got the weed, I spent all my money on this weed, and it was just so nasty. I was like, dude, really? He's like, hey, that's all it's around, take it or leave it. I'll take it. So I put it in my pocket, I'm so happy, I'm riding wheelies through Westchester. So I'm like, beep, boom, beep, boom, because that was my thing. And so I'm riding wheelies through Westchester, and then all of a sudden, almost in mid-wheelie, I just had put it down, this truck comes bowling through, and we nail each other head on. Bam! And my speedometer was still pegged at 45 when I got out of the hospital, and I thought I was gonna die. My helmet actually split in half. This $150 Bell helmet back then when I was 16 just split in half. And I remember everything just stopped in slow motion. I go flying through the air, and I was like maybe 10, 12 feet in the air, and maybe like 15, 20 feet from the bike in the accident, and I could see everything. And when your adrenaline really kicks in, this is like neuroscience, everything slows down because you're in hyper mode, right? And I was like at the apex of it, I was like, wow, this is really cool. And then bam! I landed on my fucking knees. It's like 100 degrees out. You could see the bubbles on the blacktop, and I land on my knees, and I'm like, holy shit, that hurts. And I jump up, and I just hit a truck, and a truck hit me. Both arms are broken. I still got the scars. You can see it. They cut me from here to here just to relieve the pressure, and that was a straight line. When they built my arm, it's like a huge S, right? So I'm jumping around. I got 4 broken ribs, and I'm like, fuck, what happened? Whose fault is it? It wasn't my fault, right? It wasn't my fault. And so I'm freaking out, and they just form this circle around me, like everybody around there. And then all of a sudden, there's a bar. I can see the bar. This guy comes out of the bar. Let me at that boy. I know CPR. Let me at that boy. And the crowd parts like the Red Sea. And I'm like, don't let that guy at me. What the hell is it? Don't let the guy at me. And he's chasing me, right? I don't need CPR. I don't need CPR. I don't need CPR. And so he's coming at me. And thank God, and this Red Sea parted again. And this beautiful African-American woman comes up to me. She says, you, get the hell out of here. What are you doing drinking? It's 3 in the afternoon. And then she tells me to lay down. And I lay down. And I'm like, fuck, the blacktop's hot as shit. And she's like, it's all right, here. And she puts something under me. She's like, lay down. She just strokes my head. She's like, it's okay, what's your name? And she talks me into relaxation, and she tells me I'm gonna be all right. The ambulance comes. I still gotta pee, right? So I'm in the ambulance, they're like, just pee your pants. I'm not gonna pee my pants, I'm a 16-year-old man, right? Who does that? So they take me to the hospital, I'm in the hospital, and then all I can think about, get rid of this bowl and this weed before my mom gets here, right? So I keep telling the doc, hey, will you get the bowl and the weed out of my pants? And they already like cut the stuff off, they cut everything off me. And then I finally meet this nurse, and she's like, I'll call your girlfriend. And the girlfriend comes, she grabbed the weed, she grabbed the bowl. My mom finally shows up. My mom and I weren't getting along at the time. Well, right before that, they sent some guy, this huge guy, and he just grabs my dick and shoves it in a cup. And he's like, I heard you had to pee. Go ahead. And I'm waiting, right? How am I gonna pee? This guy's holding my dick for the first time in my life. Still the only time in my life. Except for the one time. I mean, still the only time in my life. So I couldn't go, and he's like, look, I don't got all day, pee! And I was like, tinkle, 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 tinkle. So anyway, mom comes in later, and there was just like a sheet separating me. Mom comes in, you okay? I had to leave work for this. And I was like, I don't know. And then she leaves, and I hear her talking to the doctor. The doctor says, he's got some serious complications with his ribs into his lungs. He's gonna lose his arm. So we can either cut his arm off right now, or we can, and it'll save his life, or we can try to save his arm, but he could die because he's got these 4 broken ribs going right into his lungs. And I just remember my mom saying, look, I don't have time for this shit. I'm sure he'd rather be alive with an arm. Just go for it. Whatever happens, happens. I gotta go. And then, and Scarlett was there, and she's like, your mom's a fucking bitch, dude. And, but hey, they saved the arm, they saved me, and I'm here to tell you about it, right? So, and that's my story. Don't ride wheelies, don't shove your fingers up wounds that you don't know are safe, and thank you.